And back then it was called a game called Evolve. And I remember hosting an actual live multiplayer game in this room. And the game had so many bugs, but we had such a great time, playing the game and experiencing what emerged from that. And so yeah, it brings back a lot of memories, and especially the applied games track and the design track has a very, very special place in my heart. So as a way of sort of setting the stage and what you're getting yourself into, maybe a little background about me might help you. So I have a background in human behavior, human psychology, learning, and games. So I work right at the intersection of these three areas. And I don't write code. I mean, I try, but my engineers usually edit most of the stuff that I write. I think I get the point across. They know what I'm trying to do, and they're like, we have better ways, more efficient ways of writing this, Mohsin. So I'm like, sure, you're the boss. You do the thing, right? So I want to get a sense of who the people are in this room. So how many of us don't know how to code? Can I see a show of hands? Don't know how to code. Okay, wow, very cool. Very cool. Well, you're in for a treat because we're not going to be doing any coding today. We are going to play with code, but we're not going to do any coding. How many of us are like beginners in coding? Yeah. And how many of us consider ourselves like intermediate or a little bit advanced coders? Okay. Okay. So great. We're gonna do this in a workshop sort of style. We're gonna play around. We're going to have some fun, and it's going to be highly interactive. The flow of events is going to involve us actually rolling up our sleeves and hopefully building some games out and trying out a couple of different mini games. Of course, I mean, there isn't so much that you can expect from ChatGPT, right? Because it has its own limitations. I think we've come to a point by now that we have a pretty decent understanding of its capabilities, capacities, and limitations as well. And if you don't, then by the end of today's session, you will. Because you'll know to what extent you can leverage it and use it for different kinds of objectives that you might have. So moving the conversation ahead, we're going to start by just setting a little bit of the context and establishing who this workshop is for. It's for you if you are a no-code, low-code type of person, but still want to build, mini prototypes or games or any of those kinds of things that might at least give your product a sense of a game component. Or if you're trying to build a game component, it can be very easily done with something like ChatGPT. Has anybody here, I also want to check this, has anybody here built a game using ChatGPT? Anybody here? No, not yet. Logic, but not full game, yes. And in my opinion, I think it's harder to build logic on ChatGPT because giving the context is really hard. And ChatGPT is going to do, like generative AI, right? It's just going to do its own thing and give you something that it thinks is what you're looking for, because it's also a people pleaser, by the way. And it loves to just like do things for you without actually realizing that it might not be what you need. Anybody else in the room who's tried games? Yeah?
I just use it when I'm too lazy to write code. Like
Sure. Sure, I hear you. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else? You've used it?
Yes.
Tell me more.
So I'm building a game on training empathy, teaching empathy to nurses using virtual reality. Tried using ChatGPT for setting distractors or giving the wrong answer.
Yeah.
It doesn't know to say anything wrong.
Huh.
So I was facing that.
How to get ChatGPT to say the wrong thing.
Yeah, how do you get ChatGPT to say the wrong thing is my problem.
Yeah, okay, we'll play a little.
Perfect and ethical.
Yeah, yeah, cool. We're gonna play a little bit with that as well, and it's gonna be fun. So yes. So if you're an early career game developer, this could also be a good place for you to prototype some ideas. And hopefully you're more than just curious about how this can work, because this is really a workshop and you're actually going to be doing stuff. So it would be really helpful if you have a laptop. So if you do, whip out the laptop and keep it around. And we're also going to do this in teams. So we're going to do a kind of like a hackathon sort of style flow where we're going to have these 6 tables that are set up here, and each of these tables are going to be teams. I can see that I did not expect this many people, if I'm being totally honest. So I planned for like, this section of the audience, but I have no problems with adaptation and bringing everybody into the equation. So we're going to have to figure out some unique, fun way of sort of grouping those teams that are back there, and then see how we navigate and go from there. Yeah, so grab your laptops, and we're going to start, as far as the flow is concerned, we're going to start with understanding the mindset for working with Gen AI. I'm not going to go into very specifics of how generative AI works, but I will help you understand the mindset that you need to adopt when working with Gen AI very specifically. You're going to be able to create some basic prototypes of some games, and hopefully you'll also discover some fun hacks along the way. I've discovered some fun hacks while I was preparing for this, as a matter of fact. And then hopefully create some working MVPs as well that you might be able to take back. And I was actually quite surprised how efficient ChatGPT was with creating very simple games. And we'll take a look at a couple of those examples in just a moment. So first, let me show you what are some kind of games that we might actually be able to build. So here's an example of a Scrabble game, which is totally incomplete, but we're going to build on this. An example of a Scrabble game here where you enter the word, you play the word, and the word goes on the board. I'll give you another example of a funky slider game, which actually was more of an accident than anything else, where you can, this is kind of like a Flappy Bird sort of game. I'm pressing the space key to get this little square to move around, and then move about. And we can put like obstacles along the way here and get the user to navigate across these range of obstacles. Yeah, you guys are with me so far? Is this making sense? Yeah? Let's take a look at another one. These are all the games, by the way, that are options for us to work on today. And you're going to be able to use these games, add more components to it, make it more fun, more interactive. So consider these as like the base of the environment that you're going to be working in. And then you're going to use your creative imagination. And of course, the people that are on your table, you're going to use that mindset to sort of bring everybody together and brainstorm together. I really believe in experiential learning because that's also what I do. I design games for learning. So when I was thinking about doing this workshop, I thought, I don't want to stand here talking about how to do this. I'd rather you do it and then discover the process. And hopefully we'll all learn in that process, right? Here's a math quiz game. So if you select the wrong answer, it just tells you, that was not the right answer. And you select the right answer, it tells you that it was the right answer. By the way, all of these games that I'm showing you, once again, were created purely on ChatGPT. So I literally just copied the code that ChatGPT gave me and plunked it over here in this code editor. And for those of us who don't necessarily do any coding, you don't necessarily have to worry about having a visual code editor. You can use an online one. So if you have access to the internet, just type on Google search CodePen or something like that, and you'll find, or a code editor on Google, and you'll find a couple of different examples that you'll be able to do like a live thing. I'll show you that as well in just a moment. So this is a memory game, and you pick up the cards, and along the way, you've got to sort of match these cards. And then once the match is there, it remains on the screen. As you can see, it remains unflipped. And then you can keep playing this just as so. Yeah, I think you guys are getting the idea, right? Let's take a look at another one. Now we kind of get slightly more into the game environment, right? What feels like a game slightly more. And this is, I'm managing the left paddle, by the way. And this was a really interesting conversation I've actually loaded my conversations up here on ChatGPT as well. So to give you an idea of what kind of conversations am I actually having with ChatGPT, and what am I telling ChatGPT to produce something like this? When I created this one, ChatGPT actually gave me this on the right paddle was sort of moving the whole time, and I couldn't move the left paddle. So I told ChatGPT that I want controls for the left paddle, and I want to be able to move them with the arrow key. And so it made those changes, and I was able to integrate those changes back into this code and then present it here. Now let's take a look at another one, a simple platformer game. And this one has, jump capabilities. Reminds you of Super Mario, right? It's like I can imagine an early prototype of Super Mario jumping through the hoops. All right, so that's another one. And, the classic snake. You guys remember this one? Yeah, very, very simple. You guys are getting this, right? Like, it's extremely simple and very like MVP prototype sort of level where you're able to just kind of test an idea if that's what it comes down to. And in some cases, you might actually be able to build on this and expand before going further. This is a game of tic-tac-toe, and it's managed by 2 different players. So every time you click, first picks an X, then picks an O, and so kind of like this. I'm going to take a look at 2 more examples. This one is a whack-a-mole, and the score gets accounted for when you actually manage to click on the thing. If you don't click on it, then it doesn't account for the score. But if you do, as you can see, the score increases. Yeah, simple game mechanics. All right, let's take a look at another one, word search puzzle. And here we can do, not that. You guys see any other words here? Burst. Burst, there you go. Any others? Sorry?
There's a bus.
There's a bus. Where's the bus? I am blind. ROW, I see that one. Okay. I'm still looking for bus. B11, what? Level, oh, reverse, that one. Oh, bevel, yes, bevel, correct, not level. All right, so you guys are getting this, right? So I think this is also a good time for me to say that we're going to be working with this level of game prototyping. So for those of us who are interested in actually doing the work and being here for the next whatever time, hour and a half or so, building this out and trying and experimenting, getting your hands dirty, can I see a show of hands of all of those people who actually want to do this? Wow, love it. Love it. All right, so for those of us who are doing it, can I please request you to find a seat along here on the chair. For those of us who are not necessarily involved in writing the code, may I request you to go to the back of the room, please? This is just so that we can organize the room, and we're going to pick team names, by the way, in just a couple of minutes. So yeah, this is going to get fun. All right, so a little shuffling around. How about the folks back there? If you are interested in doing this as well, can you form teams back there as well? Feel free to connect with your neighbors. You know, I'm really awkward when it comes to social settings and networking, so this kind of stuff really helps me to kind of get to know people and talk to each other and stuff like that. I hope it helps you as well.
We do have some space here, so if we want to get into workshop more, we can just use the space.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, and if there are more people doing this, can we get more seats in here? Is that possible?
We're trying to get that, but there's limited space for chairs. So if we are fine, we can group up and like use whatever space is here. Meanwhile, I will try and see if we can.
Thank you so much. All right, so while this is happening, please meet your people on the table and start discussing a team name. Guys, I mean, it's getting real, okay? It's getting real. Okay, so wonderful. All right, back there, you guys have teams as well. Are you guys playing? Are you guys doing this? Are you writing the code as well? Are you working with us? Cannot because, well, it's HTML. It should work. Say that again? On Bing, but you'll have to paste it into a... Do your thing, man. If you know what you're doing, do it. Totally. If it works, share with everybody else, right? Exactly. If it doesn't work, please share with everybody else as well. Okay, how about back there, you guys? I'm seeing you guys sitting in like a straight line. Are there people back there who still want to code? Who still want to do this? Or you guys are just chilling back there like, let me just see what's happening here. Show of hands, please, so I know. One person? Yeah, you need a seat? Come on up here. I think there's a seat here, right? Yeah, a couple of seats here, one seat here, one seat there. I think, where did Manisha go just now? She's coming back. Okay, that seat is not available. All right, so I'm going to assume now, see, my whole thing is inclusivity, and I try to get everybody involved, and so I have to tell myself that this is the range that I'm going to be working with. So that's why I'm establishing this. So if there's anybody else who wants to be involved in the coding process, then we can form teams without tables as well. Get just people together with one another. We can do that as well. In the back of the room, they're arranging some more chairs for here as well. Okay? Cool. So while we do that, and before we go any further, because I'm going to go into like the mindset of working with Gen AI in just a minute. And before we go there, I just want to check with you guys. Do you guys have any questions about what we're going to cover, what we're going to do, what we're not going to do, and things like that? Does anybody have any burning questions in the room at the moment?
We have to like design the assets for the games.
Say that again?
We have to like design the assets for the games.
No, you will not be designing assets for the game. We're going to assume that assets are already there. That's a different AI topic, primarily because it involves, AI visual editing, mid-journey, and things like that. We're not going to have the time for that level of work. Here, we're going to do more of the mechanics, the design, and that kind of work. Anybody else? Any other questions in the room? Okay. Oh, yeah, sure. Conference Wi-Fi password. Logistics, please. Anybody else? All right, let's dive in. Fun stuff. You got to treat ChatGPT like an intern. That's bottom line. Like, just think in your mind, how would I treat an intern? What are the characteristics of an intern? Can I hear? Characteristics of an intern. Unexperienced. Sorry? Ambitious, sometimes, yes. Say that again? Need some pushing around, yes. They need clarity. I'm giving you the answers right here, guys. All you got to do is read. Right? It's an open book test. Yes, what else? Overconfidence. He speaks from experience. Anybody else? Intuitive, yes, yes. Anybody else? What are some characteristics of an intern? I'm surprised no one said unreliable. It depends, yeah. You have to strengthen your hiring process, right? So here's how I like to deal with them. I like to give them sufficient context, because without context, it's really hard for them to make sense of what you're trying to do. They're trying to help you. They come into this environment wanting to try to help you. And the whole idea is that we are trying to give it the context that it needs so that it can provide the support and the help that we need. But we have to also recognize that it has its own limitations. And those limitations are always and often governed by the technical capabilities of what generative AI can actually do, right? You can't expect it to create a game when it just doesn't have the bearings or the makings of someone or some entity that can actually do that. You've got to establish roles and responsibility boundaries. So it helps for them to know what is the role that they are trying to play in this equation. Are they trying to play the role of a software engineer? Are they trying to play the role of a CTO? Are they planning to play the role of a front-end or a back-end engineer? And you've got to give it that kind of clarity for it to really produce meaningful and valuable stuff. Then you've got to specify your requirements. Ask if it understands. And this is something that I think a lot of Gen AI users don't do, which is they just kind of write the assignment and the task and send it to it. And then it gives a result to them without actually checking with it, do you understand? So this is a very, very important step because in this process, you will discover that there might actually be loopholes in your requirement that you might have written. And ChatGPT is understanding something other than what you're trying to tell it. So if you tell it to ask it, do you understand, and ask it to repeat back to you what it does understand, you're going to get clarity on what it understands. Does that make sense? And as a follow-up to asking, do you understand, is to ask it to tell you what part of the requirement it cannot deliver. So what part of this can you do, can you not do? There's a more nuanced, slightly more advanced version of this as well, where you can put percentages, and you can say, what percent of this can you do? What percent of this do you think I would need to do, right? And having a dialogue, so really like opening up the dialogue with ChatGPT in that way, and give it room to make mistakes. Ask for revision and regeneration. So along those lines, over the course of the last many months, GPT has improved quite a bit, but it's also plateaued to a far extent. And we are starting to realize and recognize its limitations. So in this case, what you want to do is when you generate a result and you know that your prompt is right, you've got to ask it to regenerate. And I've seen that in regeneration, there are many a times better results in regeneration, and sometimes at 4, 5, 6 iterations of regeneration without actually changing any prompt. And that's surprising, isn't it? Because you think that you'll write a prompt for ChatGPT, and it's going to respond to you based on just that prompt. But when you regenerate, it's generating a new response based on that prompt. And sometimes it takes your feedback, sometimes it does not. Listen to it. That's the other thing. So when you start to dialogue with the interface, it's also telling you, like, for example, when I was preparing these examples that I just showed you, I was in the process of getting it to generate stuff for me, like these games for me. And it would say, there were two types of cases that I came across. One was where it would say, sure, I can do this, and I'll produce a game, a mini game for you. In other cases, it would tell me, this is a really complex game, but I will try to give you a base or some sort of a starting point that you can build on top of. So when you listen to it, you start to understand its own capabilities and capacities of what it can and cannot do. You know what I mean? And then always check its work, just like you would anybody else. Yeah? Okay. Couple of prompt suggestions before we dive in and get to hear your team names. Can we please have mics here while, is there just one mic in the room? Okay, 2, cool. Yeah, so we're going to give you guys mics just now so we can hear your names, your team name, and all that good stuff. And a couple of prompt suggestions, as we're going into this. So don't further the conversation unless you're happy with what is given to you. And this is going back to the earlier point that I was saying, which is about regenerating the response. Does everybody understand what I mean by regeneration? Yeah? Come on, this is interactive, guys. I need to hear from you. Yeah? Still can't hear you. You can also say no, by the way. When you're sure about your prompt and the result isn't satisfactory, check for its capability, its capacity. If yes, regenerate. If not, chunk the task. Break it into smaller parts, smaller pieces. Hi, sir. And pro tip for non-coders, revise the code in ChatGPT itself. Can everybody tell me why this is important?
Later iterations.
Say that again?
For later iterations.
Later iterations, yeah? There's one big reason I'm looking for. Efficiency, what do you mean by that?
To optimize the code even more.
Optimization, yes, yeah.
And check for errors as well.
Check for errors, yeah.
It might use some deprecated coding things, like old functions that.
Old functions. Yes, it could, yeah. Context, thank you. That's the one I was looking for. It's context aware. As much as we think, and we like to think, that ChatGPT has great memory, it does not. It has actually really bad memory. And to the point where I was experimenting with you guys remember the dinosaur game? The one that is on the Chrome internet not loading screen? So I tried to get ChatGPT to make that game. And I found the code, and I copy-pasted the code, and obviously it was too long. So I had to chunk the code into many parts, a total of 31 parts, by the way. When I chunked it into 31 parts, it stayed with me, but by the time I reached to 26th part, it had completely lost what I was talking about. And it didn't even know that I was asking it to create a smaller prototype of this very game. So by the time I reached 26, it's like telling me something along the lines of, let me know what you'd like me to do with this code. Right? So that can get pretty interesting. And you guys are going to experience some part of that just now yourself. All right, so let's get some team names. I want to hear what kind of team names. Or do you guys need some more time? Because I've been talking this whole time. You guys need a couple of minutes to establish your dominion? Yeah, okay, take that. 2 minutes, guys. Discuss. And back there as well, if you guys are playing together, if you guys are sort of coding and working with each other, come up with a team name for yourself as well. Curious to know, any teams back there? Any teams forming back there? Back there? Say that again?
The thing is, you just said now, like, it loses context over a long message.
Uh-huh.
I just searched it up and it says, like, you can only send 25 messages.
That's the limited, no wonder, 26th, right? Yeah. Makes sense. Something we didn't know. Only 3-hour window. Good to know. All right, let's hear some team names. What do we have? Who's ready? Are you guys ready? The team that's not talking seems to be ready. How about you guys? You guys are ready? Not yet, okay. Team name. Remember to say hello to your team members.
No coders.
Say that again.
No coders.
No coders. No coders in the house, guys. The first team. You guys have a team name? What's it? Oh, that's cool.
Fuzzy Tomatoes is us.
Fuzzy Tomatoes. Where did this come from? That sounds good. Let's add a fun word to it. Fuzzy. Fuzzy tomatoes. Okay. Anybody else? What other teams do we have here? Sorry? What's the team name? Just go, like just call out, because I'm unable to look at all of you at the same time. So we have fuzzy tomatoes, and we have no coders in the house. Who else is here? Come on, guys. Consensus. Yes? Play? Craft. By the way, that team is going to become a startup very soon. And they're going to build the next SaaS business around games. That was my talk yesterday, by the way. Okay, Playcraft. And we've got a couple more teams left to pick a name. All right, so I mean, let's take pride in the name. Let's put the name on a piece of paper and make like a little tent of it and put it on the table so that we can, establish this is our space. This is where we belong. This is how we roll. Say that again.
The Trailblazers.
Trailblazers. Right? There you go. I mean, duh, right? All you got to do is just type it in. Give me some fun team names. Okay, a couple more are left. I think you guys are left, right? Yeah, what's your team name?
We're Code Smashers.
Code Snatchers.
Smashers.
Smashers. Okay, I thought you were going to snatch it, but you're smashing it. That's cool, too. I'm down with that. Okay. You guys, have you picked a name yet? Huh? What biters? Chat biters. Chat biter.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I mean, what's in the name, right?
What?
All right, so go ahead and make a tent card for your team name and place it on the table so we can recognize that this is your team name, of course, because we're going to call out to your team names along the way. And we're going to set up like a little real-time leaderboard here, and hopefully with the help of ChatGPT. So let's see how that goes. We'll try it. Yeah.
So we are code breaker makers.
Code breaker makers.
Yes.
How did you come up with that? It's like 3 people had 3 different words. Let's put them together.
Yes.
Is that what happened?
So we'll have code from ChatGPT.
Uh-huh.
It will break, and we'll try to mend it, right? So.
Okay. Any engineers in this room who are going to be... he's like, I'm that guy. Okay, cool. Are you guys ready? Oh, man, I'm leaving, guys. I mean, this is... Are you guys ready? Yes. Okay, I believe you now, finally. All right, so let's dive in. Open up the code editor, and I'm going to show you the first prompt of how to create any of these games that I just showed you. Very, very simple technique to create the base game. And I'm just going to share this here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you guys, let me know what's better. Is this better or, no, I don't think that's better. Let's stick to this. So I've got a couple of games here, all of these games that I've been talking about. So pick one of these that you're going to use to build on top of, all right? So as a way of reminding you what they are, you've got that Scrabble game that doesn't work. You've got the funky slider game, the one that's kind of like slides Flappy Bird, mash up with some other kind of moving up. Yes, sir? Scale it. I'm not a coder. I'm going to try. I'm not sure how to do that. Can you help me? Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to scale this, make it bigger? I'll just call it out. You just have to hear me. It'll be easier. Control plus. Cool. All right. There you go. You want it bigger? All right. Boom. Take that. So Scrabble, funky slider game, math quiz, memory game. That's the one with the, picking the 2 cards. The Pong game, which looks more fun. the simple platformer, like the Mario one that I showed you guys, Snake, tic-tac-toe, whack-a-mole, and word search. So discuss amongst your team, figure out what is it that you're going to build on top of. It's very likely that you will get, when you do your base game preparation with ChatGPT, it's highly likely that you will get something along the lines of one of these games that I've created on the top. So all of these that I showed you just now, it's very likely that you'll get something along those lines. But there is a caveat. We're still working with ChatGPT, and it's real time, and it's changing. So expect to see something unexpected along the way. All right? All right, so talk to your team. Pick out a game that you're going to be using as the base game. What's the one that you're going to be building? Say that again. Try CodePen. CodePen. Or just type on Google online code editor. Yeah.
We have decided to use the whack-a-mole.
The which one?
The whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole.
One before the last one.
Whack-a-mole.
Yeah, whack-a-mole.
Got it. I heard Macklemore. I was like, I like Macklemore. All right. What else? Take your time, decide your game, and when you've decided, put it on your card. The ping pong, pong. Put it on your tent card.
Do we have to like make the same game or improve upon it?
Improve on it. So you're going to ask GPT to generate the base game first, and then I'm going to give you tasks and assignments that you will do, which will make it better.
Okay.
Cool? And we'll actually source the assignments from our audience because there are so many of us. So we're going to call out are you guys ready to have some fun back there? Yeah? Oh, he's like, yeah, now I'm in. You know, all this while he was just standing back there like, I'm just chilling, man. But now he's like, now I'm in. Now I'm in. All right, cool, cool. We're going to get you in, man. All right, another minute, guys, for you guys to decide which game you're picking. When you've decided, put the name on the tent. Snake. Cool, that's cool, yeah. Snake. You can do a lot of fun stuff with Snake. I'm excited for you. Huh?
Are not coming in, but like if they want to make it informal, like if they do want to participate, they can use this space. Like we did that last year.
We did, yeah. Even here, right?
You can just like this enough
Okay.
space.
Okay.
2 more groups, I think.
I think so, yeah. Okay, guys, we have a suggestion. For those of us who are working with a team of people here and doing this exercise with us, then we have a space here and here for 2 teams. So if you'll just come here, you'll actually be able to sit around each other and face each other because this will require some amount of ideation and talking to people and planning a little bit, okay? So 2 teams should be able to fit in these spaces. We might be able to squeeze 3 if we try hard enough. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you for letting me know. All right, so 2 teams, 1 here and 1 here. I'm going to talk about that. Most code editors will be like that. Is it working? Oh, cool, man. Nice. Why is tic-tac-toe telling you happy and sad?
because I changed the
Oh, that's
command
what you did.
X inverse to
Okay.
happy and sad.
Nice. Nice. Works. Works. By the way, do you want to share this? Do you want to share this? I think this is a really important thing. Can we get a mic here, please? Thank you so much. So here's, what's your name, sir? Here's Sanatan, who's figured out how to run the code editor and this whole exercise on the phone. So for those of us who did not bring their laptops, you want to still give this a shot, here are the instructions.
So I don't have any laptop, so I've used this code pen through online. So I used as desktop, view as a desktop, and in a new tab I have opened the ChatGPT so that it gives all the prompts.
Oh,
so I have commanded that change the X and O's to happy and sad smileys. It generated all the styles and the JavaScripts. I have copied it and pasted in the code IO. So it generated the code. So I have tested it and it's running fine. So this is how followed. Code pen, yeah. JS Fiddle, code pen. So you have online platforms where you can run the code and you can see it.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, guys, I'm just connecting to the internet. Just give me a moment, and I will show you what's the starting place for this with ChatGPT. Meanwhile, just open up ChatGPT and have it on standby, kind of like this. So it's hilarious because when I first started doing this, I started to build it with so many specific instructions, and it would constantly give me bad results. And so I tried something simpler, and it surprisingly worked. So sometimes simplicity helps. Most times, simplicity helps. So let's look at the tic-tac-toe game and see the length of this chat. I mean, I asked it to do one thing, and it did that, and that was it. So this is the prompt that I first gave it. Create a tic-tac-toe game with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in one file. All right? Now, I know some of the experienced coders are going to hate me for this because you don't put this in the same file. It's not a good practice, but it's sufficient for us to create a prototype, sufficient for us to try, experiment, especially for those of us who don't know how to code. So what you're going to do is effectively, you're going to type this, create a blank game with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in one file with some cool background image or color. And it surprised me, actually. It's actually used Unsplash in one of the games, I believe. I don't know if I've shared that version of it, but it did that with tic-tac-toe, where it created very cool backgrounds from Unsplash. Of course, they had watermarks on them, but it was still there. It was pretty cool. So create a tic-tac-toe game, or create a whack-a-mole game, create a Pong game, create a memory game, create a jump and move, whatever, right? So just kind of ask it whatever it is that you want, and it will do that for you. So go ahead and do it. Give you guys a couple of minutes to do that now. Man, this team is like on fire already. Fuzzy tomatoes. Love it. Okay. And this is perhaps the last instruction for now before I leave you guys for a couple of minutes to get set up, which is once you've requested that from ChatGPT, it's going to take that and give you this code, something like this. So what you're going to do then is copy this and go into your editor and just, if you're using an editor, then you already know how to do this with creating an HTML file. If you're not using an editor, then I'll show you a version of this where I'm not using the editor. I like CodePen, so we're going to use that. And so I'll copy this, and I will just drop it in the HTML section only. Because we want a single file, we're expecting it to produce everything within the HTML environment. And when you save it, it will produce it at the bottom. You can then move this up and do this. Pretty simple, right? Okay, guys, so you have now 10 minutes to set up. All right? Get this part done, 10 minutes to set up. If you finish sooner, we'll pick up and get going. If not, then we will see. Make sure you talk to your team members, get help if you don't know what you're doing. That's the point of having a team together, so that you guys can, talk to one another and draw assistance and help from each other. Cool. I'll come around to assist you if you guys need any specific help. Mm-hmm. Great. No. Yeah. So here's one example of what might happen. You might copy paste the code into CodePen, and it will not load anything. In that case, you'll go back to ChatGPT, ask it to regenerate, and then try it again.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't get anything from this, like the snake and ladder game. But I'm not getting more after this.
Yeah. So if you are, I think snake and ladder might be a little bit more advanced than what it might be able to do, because it's got dice rolling mechanic, and I don't think it can display or indicate the dice rolling. Actually, it might be able to, because it's a random 1 through 5 numbers. Roll dice. So if it's not working, do the same thing as I suggested. Go back to ChatGPT, ask it to regenerate, and then copy paste that. Yeah. Keep trying it. Sometimes it'll take multiple iterations of you getting it, trying it, to get the right game, to get it to function the way you want. And then save versions of it as well. You can open up another window and save different versions of it. You guys are trying it as well? Cool. Cool.
Okay, can I see which version of GPT you want? You're using 3.5, I'm using the big version, and he's using 3.4. One OpenAI. So we have all versions, we can correlate which one does actually. I can keep some notes.
How you guys doing over here? All good? So you guys are all set up? Cool. We'll take a couple more minutes. Okay, coming to help you.
Adding the platform of Dora, so it's working, but what the thing is happening, we're adding some iterations. Let's say from here we added increase jump value, and then next command we saved the player was not moving next direction. We got this, and then once we copied it was working, but whenever we're giving another prompt, the previous prompts are getting forgotten.
Yeah. So this is a very great example of something that many of you might be facing. And the situation is that, can we get a mic, please? The situation is, can you please explain the situation?
So we gave a base prompt of creating a platformer. Then we added in our iterations like increase jump value or allow movement in X and Y. But as we are giving more and more prompts, it's forgetting the previous prompts and not giving the revised, updated code. Yeah.
So my suggestion, if this is happening for you, my suggestion would be to not engage in a deeper conversation with ChatGPT until you get the base game the way you want it, at least functioning at a base level. So keep regenerating, try a couple of different times of doing this so that you get the base right, and then you can build on top of that. Cool? And I'll give you further instructions in a moment about future conversations with it. Really? Oh, that's interesting.
The same code is working.
Okay then, same code, huh?
Yeah, it was like
Maybe something browser related. Yeah, good, cool. It's Mozilla, right? Okay, another couple of minutes, guys, before we wrap this up, or at least wrap up this part of it. We're not done yet. Yes? How's it going?
Combine the whack-a-mole and addition game. If you reach the addition value, then it will change the level.
So how does it work? What do I have to do?
You have to click on the numbers so that the total
gets added.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Cool. Keep that. Save it somewhere. We're going to talk about it later. Okay, another 2 minutes, guys, before I start to give you assignments or tasks that you got to do. Done? All set? Another couple of minutes. Do you guys need more time? Who needs more time? Can I see a show of hands? Who needs more time to initial game? That's what we need at this point in time. I'm listening.
What happened was we were using ChatGPT 3.5 Bing version on ChatGPT, which is, I think, they say that they're using GPT model 4, and they are using the OpenAI version of ChatGPT 4. So they got it on the first try with the same prompt that we're using, which is create a 2D snake game with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in one file, and add some cool background color. They got it on the first try, I think.
Yeah.
And on my first try on using Bing, it's completely blank with it's just a blue screen with a bounding box. And I think for you guys on the first try,
should we add some scores?
So what's the problem? Just load it in ChatGPT. Just open up, OpenAI. Chat.gpt, whatever. What's the name of this thing? The URL. Tell him the URL. Just open that up and use that instead.
So use the code
from OpenAI. Yeah, I would recommend that. Because this entire design is built around that. Yes.
We're not using BARD or some other generative software. ChatGPT is more powerful because I have made games in Unity. I'm a game developer. I have made all these games with the help of ChatGPT only.
Sure.
Yeah, so should I continue with ChatGPT only or should I shift to BARD or something?
We're using ChatGPT because it's it's mainstream more than the others.
Okay.
And the other is that because this is no code, low code, most people are familiar with it. So I'm creating something that is relevant and apt for them to be able to do. Yeah, if you are coders and engineers, you might want to try something slightly more advanced like the, yeah. Sure. Okay, another minute, guys. Does everybody have the base game ready? Yeah? Yeah, all good? All good, you guys? Not yet? Getting there, one step at a time. How are we doing?
we had a platformer, we changed the character, etc., but we continued to jump.
Oh, so you guys did the editor now. Cool, you got colors and all going. Character doesn't jump. Try spacebar. Yeah, no. Which one are you building? Uh-huh.
We've had it told it a few times that it's not jumping to fix it, and it won't fix it.
And it won't fix it, huh? So go back to the first one, conversation, the first line that you said it. So open up a new one, paste it there. And then the process of establishing the base is to keep reiterating or keep regenerating until you get it right. So don't engage in a deeper conversation until you get the first one. Because the thing with ChatGPT, and this is the bit that I figured out, is that if you go in a deeper conversation, it's not going to be able to respond. Yeah.
Okay.
So try this. If this doesn't work, then regenerate this response, try it again, and keep iterating that way instead of going deeper into the conversation. Because ChatGPT thinks that the deeper you go in the conversation, there's more context, which is a good thing to think about from that perspective, but it's not always able to follow through on that. So it will only listen to some part of it and not the whole part of it. And I'll also talk about how to give feedback to it and how to do that regeneration from there in a moment.
Keep asking it.
For now, yeah.
Refining.
Precisely. That's the thing, right? If you've got your prompt right, then you don't have to second guess yourself. You got to tell it to do a better job. Okay, assignments are coming up in just a minute, guys. I need to presentation. Keep this on. So while you guys are doing this, I'm going to leave this screen up. Just make sure you follow these steps for not just this, but also future conversations. Don't go deeper into the conversation until you get what you want from that level. Yeah. What is this?
It's a snake game.
Yeah, so this is incomplete, right? It hasn't produced the result that you wanted, so you want to regenerate it. So tell it to regenerate instead of giving it feedback. Yes, the same way that I showed you on the screen. Yeah, that's the reason I showed you my screen of the version of the game that actually works, and that was generated by a single line of messaging to ChatGPT. So let me give you guys a couple of examples. So look at this Pong game. Create a Pong game. It did this. And then I started giving it feedback, but I'm going to come back to that in just a moment, in how to give feedback to ChatGPT, okay? But look at this one. Do you see this? There are 6 versions of this Pong game. It took me 6 times of telling it to regenerate the same thing before it produced something that I could actually use. So that's the process that you want to take. Don't go deeper into a conversation until you get at least at the level that you saw my version of the game. Yeah? Cool. All right, assignments coming at you in 30 seconds. 30 seconds, no pressure. I want to help you, Michelle. Yes.
This time it did jump, but it had no floor, so once it jumped, it kept falling.
Yeah, yeah.
It is fun to see how many different ways it can mess up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're building the platformer. Can you show me which one of mine? Because I want to look at my code as well. Which one is that? Jump and move. Oh, I did this here. Okay. Sorry. This was a different experiment. But yeah. Try this. Remember when I said that I initially gave it like really advanced things, like more detailed stuff? There's another one as well. So for those of us who are keen on a fun hack that I tried and it worked, was what I did with this one. So I did something kind of fun here, where I took a piece of I took the code of a working game that was small enough, like this platformer one, and I gave ChatGPT the code, and then told ChatGPT to give me the prompts to create this game. Does that make sense? So all of these prompts are generated by ChatGPT, given to me, which I gave back to ChatGPT to, to make the game. When you don't know how to code, this is what you do, right? All right, cool.
So how different was the code from yours?
It was surprisingly similar. It was surprisingly similar, because it knew what to tell itself to produce that thing.
Did it make it better, or like
Roughly the same, not incrementally different, like it's too marginal, the change. I'll come there. What's up? What is it?
I missed that part where how you managed to prompt ChatGPT to create the prompts.
Yeah, so I don't know if I have that chat here. It's gonna take me on a wild goose chase to search it. But effectively, what I did was I found a game that that was similar to what I was looking to do. I knew it was simple enough, and then I copied the code of that game from a single HTML, pasted it into ChatGPT within the word limit that it was there, and asked it to create the prompts to create this game.
Okay, but if we were to create something unique or new, novel perhaps, then we don't have the code.
Then it's hard to do that. So you have to take references from whatever. I'm sure there are some similarities between this and other things, right? So you'll have to just pick up what it is that you want and then show it that. But it's really hard to do something at that level of complexity, because ChatGPT is just not designed for that level of complexity.
And about the task, we managed to do that using prompt. So we are using that screen to...
Nice. Well done.
When we die,
And so you gave it prompts to respond with a touch?
Yeah, and also when we die, it will just restart. And
Very cool. Way to go, Sachin.
So I'm not a coder either. I gave a prompt basically to create a platformer game with HTML, JS, and JavaScript, and modify using a forest background. Generated this, then I tried to put it in pen, but says the HTML that goes in the body goes in. I've been getting that error for everything.
Try a different compiler, because those guys tried a different one and it worked. So try a different one. Just go on Google search and try that. Okay, guys, here's the first assignment for you guys. Yeah, I'm assuming that you're good. For you guys, if you're not good, change the game so that you don't get left behind, because we've got to go. So now that you've got your base game ready, I need my audience in the back who wanted to participate. What should be their first assignment? I have some ideas of my own, but I want to know what you guys think should be their first assignment that we should assign to these guys. What should be the first task that we should assign the teams to work on? Any ideas back there? Okay, I'll open it up to these guys as well. What should be the first task for us to do here as a challenge? Whoa. Multiplayer already? I think that's a slightly more advanced. Let's come to that a little bit later. Let's start with maybe something simple like UI or some look and feel kind of stuff. Say that again. Score. All right, here we go, we got it. Adding a score element. And the score should change based on the player's interaction. Nice. Sometimes you're skilled, sometimes you're lucky. All right, so, oh, I see what you're doing. Nice. All right, so let's get that scoring mechanism in. I'm going to start a timer here for 5 minutes, and we'll see how we do with that. Say that again. It doesn't move? Yeah, but what I mean is, are you able to move it? Same thing. Regenerate till you get it right. How many regenerations have you done so far? No, not this way. Yeah, so don't, I wouldn't recommend this. I would take this, open a new window, new chat. Yeah, open a new chat. Paste it there. And enter. Yeah, my question is, aren't you guys working on it together? Are you doing like, oh, are you the consultant here?
Not really. I'm telling that this is the one that we kind of make the most progress. So I'm trying to understand what prompts they're using here versus how prompts are working here.
Oh, so are we doing like A/B testing? Is that what's happening here?
Kind of, yeah, that's exactly.
All right, that's cool. Sure, whatever floats your boat. So you'll copy this, all right? Now, if this doesn't produce the result that you want, then you will regenerate this. Don't dialogue with it, just regenerate, okay? All right, here comes a suggestion on how to have a conversation with ChatGPT so that it doesn't mess up the past stuff that it's done for you already, because that's something that's come up, right? A number of people are saying that, so we got ChatGPT to create the base game for us, but then when we started giving feedback to it, it started to mess up the earlier part of what was already there as well. So here's what you actually want to say to ChatGPT to manage that component. Which one was it that I had open like that? Give me just a sec, I'm finding it. Not that. Here we go. You need to literally copy this and place it in your clipboard because you're going to use this one a lot. Five magic words. Revise with the following feedback. So what ChatGPT does then is it takes the most latest version, and this is why you want to make sure that you don't go deep into a conversation because it doesn't know what to revise anymore. Does that make sense? So if you're already gone down that path where you have a string of conversations already, then my recommendation is to double back and have a fresh conversation where there's only one communication there, one request that you've made with the result coming up to your liking and desire. If you don't like it, keep regenerating until you get it right. Because this one has been tried and tested, and it should 99% work in most cases. And it has been, as we can see here, right? Once you do that, you're going to do revise with the following feedback. Give it the feedback. Try to keep the feedback simple, something small, not too complex, and clear, precise, specific. Very cool.
I'm trying to increase the speed of the ball as square increases, but for some reason it keeps slowing down.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is the same approach will take place here as well, where when you give it the feedback, it's going to give you a response, right? You're going to do the same thing again. If you don't like the response, you either check your feedback to confirm that it is accurate. If it is not accurate, you're going to make changes. And ChatGPT now allows us to edit it. Do you see this? Do you see this editor right here? This is precisely why they gave us this feature. Most people don't understand why they gave us that editing feature, because it actually scrambles ChatGPT's brain when you have a deeper conversation with it, which is why you got to keep it simple and keep it. What you're effectively saying here is when you generate a piece of code from ChatGPT, you're telling ChatGPT, okay, 1 minute left, by the way. So when you're communicating with ChatGPT and you approve one of the generations that it makes, you're telling ChatGPT that this is the best one. This is the one that I like, and this is the one that I'm going to continue dialoguing with you about from here on out. So then it discards all the other versions and uses the most fresh version of it. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's a very simple thing, but it plays such a significant role, and it prevents you from having 2-hour-long conversations and still not get anything from it. We've all been down that path, right? Okay, so our task 1 time is up. How are we doing? Done? You got the score? Functioning? Score? Score? How about you guys back there? Fuzzy Tomatoes done. Code breaker maker? Maker to break it. Okay, okay, yeah. I know the time pressure doesn't help, but we got to keep on time. Thank you. Yes, all done, you guys? Cool. Cool, all right, we got the score now. Almost there. Meanwhile, think about the next challenge that you think we should give these guys, or yourself if you're doing it as well. You want to give the next challenge?
No, not the challenge. You have a problem.
You have a problem? What's up? Oh, what the? Yeah, like, seriously, you guys should see this. It's got like, disco came early. It's pretty cool, man. What are you doing here? What is this?
Sort of a ping pong game. Should be one.
Yeah, at the risk of repeating myself, you need to go back to the base, build the. Yeah, so look at your feedback. That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't need to do all of this. The thing is, if you garble the conversation, it becomes harder. So yeah, good. You're at the right place. Edit this, and here, write, please revise with the following feedback, or whatever. Revise with the following. Keep this. No, keep this at the start of it. Revise with the following feedback. Score. Very nice. Hey, how did it go to 247 suddenly? Oh, because did you score on them? No, you lost a point. Wait, miss a shot? Miss a shot? Miss the next shot? You're getting points for... So now this is a reverse game. Your scoring is reverse. Whoever has the higher point loses. Okay, are we ready for the next task? Next challenge? Yeah? Yeah, what's it going to be? How are you guys doing? Oh, yeah, okay. Way to go, you guys. Yeah, okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Sometimes you wonder, when you're working with ChatGPT, has this happened with anybody? When you're working with ChatGPT, you're like, man, I should have just done the work myself. I should have just written the damn code, right? You spend an hour and a half on that thing and still don't have anything of value. Yeah, it happens. Yeah. All right, next challenge. We're going to do 2 more challenges, this and the next one. So, because that's all the time that we might have for this. But we'll see. So, next challenge. What's it going to be? Music is a little hard because it's an asset. So sourcing the asset and then inserting the asset is going to be a little tricky. So I'm avoiding the whole asset piece because try it. No, I'm not sure. Let's hold off on that. Yeah, high score. I want to move away from score. We've got the score down, yeah? Restarting the game. I think most people have that feature already. Do you guys have the ability to restart? No? I think most do. Most do. If you don't, then go back to the original one and keep reiterating until you get the version that does restart. It should restart on its own.
Different colors.
Different colors?
For cross and O.
Who are you? Who's talking? Oh, there. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, different colors?
For cross and O.
Sorry?
Cross and O symbols, different colors.
For X and O. That's a very specific one for just one type of game. We've got to find something that's generic that can be done by everybody. Ah, I like that. You guys like that? A countdown timer? Say that again? Well, highest score in this limit. Okay, yeah, speed, right? Well, no, it does make sense because if you miss one, then that's a lost opportunity for you to earn a point. Because sometimes you can miss it, right? You miss it, then you have to make a U-turn and come back. For? Oh, I like that. It's a little complex, but you want to try it? If you guys are like that intermediate, go for it, man. Freaking give it a shot. Complex. Huh? We'll come to this. We'll try it. Yeah, so the timer, when it runs out, will help us validate whether it's a win or lose case. And based on that, we can level up or stay on the same. So let's come to level next. But before that, let's put a timer. Let's put a timer of 30 seconds. Is that cool? Or 45? Or 60? What do you guys think? See for your game. Decide for yourself. 30, 45, or 60-second timer to play the game. Oh, nice. All right, there you go. There you go. He's like, I'm going to convert my bugs into features. We've all been there, right? You know, some of our best features in my games have come from bugs. Like, you have no idea. We were running this one game for a leadership team, and they were harvesting these lands, and they were generating the resources. The resources would not get generated, but the money would get deducted, and we came up with a barren land feature coming out of that. Like, land is barren. Okay, so 5 minutes for this one, guys. I'm going to start the timer now, so we keep on time. A timer for the timer. How are you guys doing over here? You must be getting bored, man.
No, I just came.
Oh, you just came. Okay. You know what's going on here? Talk to your team. These guys are like, he's not part of our team. No, he is. Bring him in, guys. Bring him up to speed. All right, new people who are coming in, if you want to be involved, there are a couple of seats here and there. Feel free to just join in, jump in. There are many teams that are designing games using or building games using ChatGPT. Join the factions. Quick pulse check, guys. Are you guys having fun? Yeah, are you having fun? Good, right answer. Very good. Responded correctly.
Yeah, what's yours doing?
core updates on jumps.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit. What are you up to, man? What is this? Whack-a-mole.
We're making a shooting gallery game.
Yeah.
Using CSS basic shapes, and then the color will despawn and spawn
Hostage and hostile.
Very cool.
Create a confusion between red and
like things will spawn more rapidly, and you just have to shoot them.
Very
like the aim
cool.
lab.
Yeah, shoot them.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Oh, I'm so impressed. Man, there are some really cool stuff. There are some really cool things happening. I'm so excited. I can't, yes, exactly, right? Right? Precisely. It's like, wow, I didn't think you can mess up in that way. But you did. Sure, it's a...
over and over again.
Precisely. It's a mindset thing.
It is.
Yeah?
It's an opportunity, not a flaw.
There you go. Love it. Okay.
Using the whack-a-mole to make a shooting gallery game, like a virtual cop. So the things will spawn in random places. You have two colors. One would be like for criminals, one if you are hostages.
Love it.
If you hit the hostage, you get like minus score.
Minus points. Oh, very cool. Yeah.
Whoever gets the highest score.
Within the time wins. My man. All right. So another minute, guys, before we move from this. Your task right now is to add a timer component to the game that you're making. Can I get a sense? Who's done? Who's got the timer ready? Hands. Who's got timer in place? 1, 2, 3. You guys got it? How about back here? Got the timer? You guys? Working on it? Getting there. Getting there. Oh. You're still working on that? I think you should save that for the next one. Yeah, do the timer now and do that one next. But my recommendation, guys, remember, the way to have a productive conversation with ChatGPT is to ensure that you don't go deep into the conversation. Keep regenerating. Like, keep your conversation as short and concise as you possibly can. This is, I mean, if there's anything that you take away from this, please let it be this. Because the deeper it goes, the understanding of ChatGPT gets convoluted with the misunderstanding of what you actually want versus what it thinks you want.
What it thinks you want, as in, even if you tell it what, even if you tell it its own code, do you think it will respond in the same way? Like, you mentioned taking a code from it and give it back to yourself to evaluate it. Will it know what
No, if it's giving you the prompt, it has a much better accuracy. But even then, when it doesn't produce what you actually want, you should regenerate instead of giving it feedback. As long as your prompt is well structured and well founded. If you need to make changes in the prompt, then edit the prompt instead of writing a new prompt. You get what I'm saying? Edit the prompt and resubmit so a new result emerges. Because what you're telling ChatGPT when you do that is saying that, okay, I think I messed up. I didn't give you the right information. Let me fix this and give you better information so that you can give me better results. You know what I mean? Because if you go deeper into the conversation, it's going to think that what it did earlier was right. Time, you guys. What's up? You weren't or were?
I wasn't.
So what's going on?
I don't know, honestly.
What's not running?
game was running previously, but when I added the timer, it's not anymore.
What is all this?
This is the code for the game. So
Okay, I got it. See, first, you shouldn't have like this deep conversation. Yeah, don't do it like this. Using C#.
Then I asked it to translate it to HTML, just translate the same code.
So then why not start with that?
It's actually working in HTML, as you can see.
Yeah.
It's functional. Then we added a score system as well.
Okay. All right. So go back to the ChatGPT.
But the timer thing isn't running.
Yeah. So the latest feedback that you gave it was, can you go all the way down? I want to see the latest feedback that you've given.
Latest feedback that I gave.
Show me the latest working that's acceptable for you.
This is the latest one, but this is acceptable.
It is acceptable?
Nope. I just asked.
Then go back to the one that is acceptable to you. This one?
The Flappy Bird one. This.
Yeah, I think you've got, think of it as like branches, okay? So if you're branching off in a different direction, then it's going to get confused between the different branches of what it needs to listen to. That's a good way to think of it, like because a lot of us work with GitHub repositories, so we understand how the branches system works, right? So you want to try and maintain a single branch as much as you can without deviation. So my recommendation in this case would be to start over. Since you already know what you're doing, you should be able to catch up to where you are very quickly and try to reduce the number of exchanges that you're having to like 2. Really, there should only be 2 exchanges.
We cannot delete a response, right, from ChatGPT. Like,
Precisely, that's the problem. Start a new chat. Okay, we'll pause for just a moment before we go to the last challenge for the day. We'll pause for just a moment for a quick sort of check with how everybody is doing, and just get like a quick sense check and sort of understand and draw some insights from what's happening across the board. What are some challenges people are facing? Because I think at this point in time, I've been giving feedback to different people, and I'm seeing some patterns here where some of the teams are making similar mistakes. So it might be valuable for us to all align and be on the same page. Yeah? Can I get your attention for a moment, folks? Thank you. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what are some challenges that we've faced while doing this. Can we ensure that there are mics in the room, please? Yeah. What are some challenges that we... Correct. Keeps missing the previous context. Yeah. Anybody else facing this challenge as well? Yeah, same. One second. One at a time, guys. One voice, please. That's okay.
Different responses each time we give the same
Sure. That's likely, right? Yeah.
Like my game is working, but when I am asking to add the timer, the game is stopped. The timer is there now.
Here you go. You want a timer? It's hilarious. It really is. Yeah. And the confusing part in this process, this step, is that if you're a non-coder, you don't know where to add that code. I put it at the top, at the bottom, in the middle, and this is precisely why you tell ChatGPT to revise the code with the following feedback. Because then it will give you the entire same code and then give you the latest version, the most updated version. But I was talking to one team here, and there was a really interesting dialogue that emerged from there, which I think might be valuable for everybody to know and understand. Think of conversations with ChatGPT. I know you got, this is a great workshop, by the way, because if people are too busy with their own thing and not listening to the facilitator, my job is done. So I'm happy. I'm happy that you guys are in this state. It feels good. I'm just giving you some suggestions. Think of a conversation with ChatGPT like branches, okay? Like GitHub repository branches, where you're having a single conversation. The moment you deviate from the branch into different threads, it no longer knows which one to consider. And so it will mix up these branches and give you results that are going to be highly unpredictable. This is why you've got to keep your chat feeds clean, right? Sounds familiar? Clean branches, right? So you've got to do a similar thing here by keeping the chat feed clean by regenerating. And I know I sound like a broken record, but this is very, very crucial. It'll save you hours and hours and hours of time. It's not intuitive, I know, because the intuitive thing to do is to just type your response or type a feedback or a suggestion and expect that it's going to respond to you. AI is not there yet. So robots are not taking over anytime soon. Right? But the main thing you want to keep in mind is that regenerate until you get it right. If you have not given the right feedback, edit the feedback. Don't go deeper into the conversation. Cool?
The fourth step is where you want to edit that. Now, can you again go back to the third step?
That's the problem. That's precisely why I'm suggesting to not do that. Did everybody understand his question? Because that's really important. These are the limitations of ChatGPT. Remember I said at the start of this that if you don't know the limitations, you're going to know by the end of it. This is one core limitation. Did everybody get that? The problem statement? Can you please repeat that?
Somewhere in the conversation with ChatGPT, you're down to like 3 to 4 steps. And the fourth step is where the latest step you're not happy with, and you want to go back to the third step and start generating another prompt from there.
Yeah.
But that's what you can't do, right?
That you cannot do. So let's say that there are 4 lines of conversation. I'll just show you on my screen. So let's say you are trying to make a change that might be, let's look at this T-Rex one because I think I had a very long conversation with it, and not too long, but if you want to edit this one and you're down here, you can't, because you can only edit the most latest response that the most latest set of instructions that you've given to ChatGPT. And so my recommendation there would be to edit it based on the most latest and acceptable version that ChatGPT is giving you. So if the version that ChatGPT is giving you is not good enough, then you need to do one of 2 things, and definitely not the third one, which I'll call out just now. You either fix the response, you either fix the instructions to make it better, or if you believe that your instructions are good, ask it to regenerate. And what you definitely don't do is go deeper in the conversation at this stage. So effectively, I think a good interaction with ChatGPT at this stage for you to check your own work should be that you should probably have no more than 4 messages in your ChatGPT thread. Make sense? You have a question?
You can go back to the previous one by just copy-pasting that code and telling it to work with that instead, right?
You can, yeah. You can. Yeah, there are more advanced capabilities like copying the entire chat and saying, hey, this is a previous chat, pick up. But again, the accuracy and reliability of the results diminish as you do that.
Again, can't we go back to the previous code by using that arrow? Arrow to the left of the 3. There's a 3 by 3 and there's a left arrow towards it. Yeah, this one.
Those are the versions. So when you regenerate this version, if you don't like this version, you're going to ask it to regenerate. It's going to create a 1 out of 1, 2 out of, like 2 out of 2, or, and then you can go back to earlier versions.
So the question was that we can't go to the previous, the third. I mean, if he's at the fourth, he can't go back to the third and edit it.
No, there's a difference between a version of regeneration, which is what this is, versus going into the conversation. Like, I can't edit this one anymore because I'm much further along in the conversation in a different branch. Yeah. Nah, that's the limitation. That would be a great feature to add. But I think, like I said, it has its limitations, and this is why they gave you the edit your instruction or edit your feedback mechanism, but it can only work for a limited space in time, which is you've got to give it that feedback at that point in time. You can't give it feedback about a much earlier part of that conversation, even if it's more than any more than one line of messaging. Because it doesn't manage branches, it merges them. So you have to do the branch management for it. Does that make sense? Manually. At least until it develops that capability. And this is one of the reasons why we go down a wild goose chase of spending hours with ChatGPT without getting meaningful results. So this technique, by the way, you should be able to use across all ways in which you use ChatGPT.
There's one thing I'd like to point out. If at all we have saved the previous version of the code in some other file, for example, if you're working on your computer itself instead of an online GDB or anything like that, if you have saved a separate part of it and had it separately, then we could just copy paste the whole code and tell to ChatGPT, can you explain this? And then you can, then the ChatGPT will come to know, like, this is what I did previously, and it'll let you know what happened, and you can start making modifications there.
Sure.
So we could sort of fix it, but it won't be exactly like you wanted.
It'll be similar. So this is that reverse engineering idea of giving it the code and telling it to give you the prompts for generating that.
Yeah.
That works. Thank you for calling it out. All right. So now we are down to, we've done a quick check. So are there any other concerns that might be valuable for everybody else as well? Anybody else? Yeah? Just one sec. We're going to get the mic to you.
So on the first step, when we had to actually create the game, I couldn't do it. I regenerated like 20 times and nothing happened. I started a new chat, gave the exact same prompt, and it got it right the first time. Why is that?
I wish I had the answer. There are some questions in life that you have to... All right. Thank you for asking. We're going to do the last one now, the last challenge for today. And we want to make this sufficiently challenging while making it affordable and our ability to do it. So let's get some suggestions. What do you want to be doing next? Or there's another idea as well, where we turn it into a stretch goal for each team. So each team decides what would be their next thing that they believe that they want to add to this. As a, because you've been working with your game for a while, and you might have had some ideas along the way. So, but make it sufficiently hard enough for you to do it in 10 minutes. Okay? 10 minutes, guys. Have fun. I'm going to come around to learn what they are and then call them out, okay? So talk to your team and figure it out and get to work.
Because we are writing on the code and it is not.
Okay, I'll come back and help you. Just give me a sec. What's up?
this game, like using that level of phone AI.
Oh, nice.
There are restart button.
Oh, I like it.
So
But it doesn't always.
huh? You need to do like this.
So what's my goal? I gotta get it
Yeah,
inside the thing.
yeah.
Oh.
Or you can restart every time you restart whole position.
Oh, you know what you should do for this?
I need to add some boundaries.
Yes.
Like
Maze.
also some win. Like if I win here, I won. Then I need to like restart the
Yeah.
position.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, the maze would be awesome. Try it. Try it. Give it a go. I think these guys.
Use OpenAI Playground, do the same code stuff like with ChatGPT, because there you can adjust the temperature and you don't have to rely on.
Yeah, I'm avoiding that because that's pro, and it's
But is it
most.
possible? Like,
Of course.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just thought it's for text for OpenAI Playground.
No, it is it is possible, but it's also again, it's not as predictable because ChatGPT does not have a branch management system, so it merges all of the anything and everything. It merges together, other than the versions of the same response regeneration. All right, so I'm coming around to check your stretch goals just now. I'll help you guys in a minute. So what's your stretch goal? What happens? Sorry? Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay. What's you guys' stretch goal?
We are thinking two things. One is cheat codes.
Cheat code. Cheats. So you enter a word, the CPU slows down. Here there is no way that I can beat the CPU.
So think about the things you're going to need to do that. One is input, right? And the other might be the actual mechanic of what that input does. Yeah, yeah. Cool.
That one or the second idea was something else. We want to introduce 2 to 3 balls. Whenever the CPU only stops that particular color ball, it will win. Otherwise, using some buttons.
Yeah, I like the idea of multiple balls actually. Yeah, and losing points for not keeping them in.
It goes to level 2 and speed increase. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You guys have put levels in as well. Way to go! All of this on ChatGPT
Yeah.
with no coding.
And looks good as well.
Looks pretty good. Yeah, yeah, it's nice. I can't wait for you guys to We're gonna do a showcase at the end of this, where each team is gonna share their. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna do a little showcase in a moment. Hi.
So what about the pricing for this one? This is all okay for regular, trying it out.
Uh-huh.
But if you really want to use it,
Yeah.
What are the economics of that pricing? How do we
That's on ChatGPT's website under
I went
pricing.
through that, but
Uh-huh.
how do I make sense of it?
Yeah,
If
it's a
they're
little.
talking about tokens.
That's a much deeper conversation. Maybe after this session we can talk. I can give you some ideas on what might be. It's not as expensive as you think, but it's basically based on calls. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a really interesting stretch goal here. What are you guys up to? What's your stretch goal? And what does it say?
So we have like a couple that we want to try out. One is as the countdown becomes lower than 30 seconds, the ball gets faster.
Okay.
And then the second one is the paddle becomes shorter.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Is it working? Trying.
We're trying.
Way to go, you guys. I think it's an achievable one. Yeah. How about you guys? What's your stretch goal?
We decided when the time passes in the game, the speed of the ball gradually increases, right?
Speed of the?
Speed of the ball.
Oh, you guys are also doing Pong? Okay. 3 Pongs here. Okay. All right. Don't forget to tell it to revise with the following feedback. Otherwise, it will forget.
I have a question. So, say I've given some instruction, and now I don't want that instruction to be carried out at all. I want to go back to the previous one. How do I do that?
That's what I was saying just now, that you don't have branch management, so it'll merge. Yeah. And if you don't get the result, then edit it. Get them to fix that before you move ahead. No, it's the limitation for the technology itself. They haven't actually created the branch management system yet. So we have to wait until that happens for us to be able to. It's also very complex to do that because, I mean, you know how GitHub and all of that. So they've got to bring in that level of granularity to their design, which will happen soon. 4 is paid, but it still doesn't manage state and branches. How you guys doing? Good?
I added the draws
Uh-huh.
and more versus Homer showdown.
Cool.
How many more wins, how many Homer wins and if the draws are there, like it puts in the draw.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, so like total number of games. You can keep playing. Oh, okay. So remembering the past games as well. That's cool.
it resets after, so I've added like you told me I've added one.
A certain number.
One feature at a time I have added.
Good. Way to go. Way to go. Okay. What's your stretch goal?
We are up to everything.
Probably like getting a high score.
High score? Nice.
Otherwise, we have timer and
Good stuff. Good stuff. How are you guys doing over here?
We made the game. We made it like this. The player is playing. The snake is changing its color after eating the tomatoes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but the problem we are facing is when we are writing the, like I have to add the timer, and it is the rest of the code remains unchanged. I want the complete pack.
Yes,
So what
which
should
is
I
why
do?
you need to say revise
with the following. I tried that.
But that's show me.
In a new conversation. This was the conversation.
Then tell it. Tell it if it's not giving you that result, edit the last response and tell it to give me the entire code.
Give me the entire.
Don't move ahead.
Okay.
The main thing is to not move ahead.
Okay.
Because it'll garble and mix your thread.
Okay.
It'll merge it.
Okay. Can I try and show it to you?
Yeah, try it, yeah. All right, 2 minutes, guys, for this last one, and then we're going to move into showcasing. Very excited to see all of your awesome work. Man, this is exciting. I'm so proud of you guys. Really, I am. Well done, all of you. How are you guys doing? I'm so sorry I've been ignoring you. I didn't mean that at all. I mean, you guys seem to be doing all right, though.
What I did was a memory game.
Uh-huh.
And I started with...
Oh, nice. Emojis.
Yeah, I started with different emojis in the beginning, but then I changed them, then I changed the timer. I brought in timer, I brought in score.
Yeah.
And right now I'm trying to create another level to it. When this finishes, I can add another level.
Yeah. Wow, I just had an idea. You know what, guys? I just had an idea, and I was thinking that how valuable this exercise might actually be for an engineer as well, because engineers often, really understand the logical stuff and the stuff that's all the numbers and all of that, the data, and communicating this, translating what you want and what you're looking for can actually help, I believe, engineers develop better communication as well in being able to translate their ideas in words. So this could be like a two-way exercise for coders and non-coders as well. How about you guys? What are you guys up to? Oh, nice. What is that? Okay. Okay, you inserted an asset in there. How'd you do that? From the web? From a link? Uh-huh. Oh, is it locally stored? Okay.
Actually, I'm a programming teacher
Okay. He's like leading by example. Nice, way to go. All right, guys, time is up and we are wrapping up. And this is the best part because now we get to talk about, do a little bit of show and tell. So we're going to bring you up and you get to come up and explain your awesomeness to the team. Show us what you've built, what you've designed, what you take pride in. And You guys are ready, or you need a few minutes to prepare? Need a few minutes to prepare? Nobody's listening to me. Are you ready? Oh. Oh my God, I love this. This is all code, all the ChatGPT?
I mean, it's not intentional.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where my paddles are,
But you made
something is
something.
happening.
You made something, okay. That's pretty cool though. All right. But it's all ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, showcase. Showcase time, guys. We've got 5 or 7 minutes left before we're done here. So we're going to do a quick show and tell and a little reflection to learn about, draw insights from what we've taken away from this session. So who's coming up first? Which team feels ready to showcase? Yeah? Come on up. Come on up, you guys. All right, give this team what they're, code breaker makers, a round of applause. Can I get some tech support here to plug their device in? Is this a Type-C? Does it work with a Type-C?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Just plug it in here. I'll move my laptop. Sorry about the mess. I got it.
Oh, that's it. Okay. So that's fine. I just wanted to display it. Okay.
So talk us through your ideas, your design, and just the process. Try to keep it concise to like 2 minutes, if you can.
So we started with the platformer approach, and then it went not so went well. That's when he was there for technical assistance. So post that, this is square, and then this will change color whenever it jumps, and then whenever it collides, the game restarts. If it doesn't successful jump, the score increases by 1. And the thing that we added as a criticality is that certain cubes can jump. So the obstacle can also jump, so you need to dodge and then sustain for 1 minute. And what's the high score that you can make? So that's the game.
All right, let's play it and try it. Nice. And when does the game end? When the time runs out?
Timer is out, or if you collide. Like in either case, it ends. Like if you draw it.
Way to go. Way to go.
Yes.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you to the team.
Yes, it's a team effort. Well done. Well done, you guys. All right, who's next? Next team, ready to present? It's okay, guys. This is all experimental. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right? It'll be far from perfect, so don't worry about that at all. All right, come on up. All right, tell us about it.
Yeah, this is a Pong game, and so we have different levels here. Whenever the total hits in the game reaches 10, the ball speed and the level increases. So, yeah, whenever we miss the CPU, whenever whoever misses the player, or let's say if I miss it, CPU wins 1 time. Yeah, but still we have to figure out a way how to beat CPU because it always wins.
Yeah.
So CPU wins.
Yeah. And the speed has also increased, as we can see. Does the color of the ball align to the speed?
No, it's random.
Oh, okay, cool, cool. Very nice, neat and clean. Give them a round of applause, guys.
Thank you.
Well done, well done. Thank you. All right. Next team. There are, just hold on, there are some cool ones in here still coming. Such cool ones you guys have made. I'm so proud of y'all.
Okay, so we made a snake game, and here the color of the snake changes when he eats the tomatoes. We are fuzzy tomatoes, so we made the tomatoes in the game.
Sticking to the theme.
Sticking to the theme. Yeah, I told GPT to give me the creative background, but for GPT, green is creative. So this is the game.
Well done. I have a question. Does the tomato end up on an occupied space? Have you had that situation come up, or have you handled it?
That came.
But you've handled it?
Yes.
Okay, well done. Good job, you guys. Good work. Good work. All right, next team. Come on, it's time to show off. Kinda. These guys are working on like some really intense hackathon level stuff. All right. I think we have time for one more before we wrap this up. One more. Who's it going to be? Now or never. You want to share? Come on up. Oh, you guys? Okay, we'll do two. Come on up quickly.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
Actually, this is the first game that I have ever programmed. Like, I'm very new to coding and I don't know anything about coding. So.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is a memory game like we saw, and so it started without a score and without a timer. It was just a random memory game, and it had, yeah. And then I changed few emojis in it. I actually created it with emojis.
Nice. Well done.
I just added a score and a timer, and when the timer runs out, it shows the restart button as well. So all that happened through ChatGPT. And
good work. Such creative things. Well done. Well done. And we have one more. I think you guys are ready? Okay. We're going to do this one and you as well. You want to present as well, right? In a moment. Yours is a small one? Oh, yeah, it's not going to connect to this. It's on the phone. Oh, we need this example. Just talk about it real quick.
Type C. Type C.
It's okay. Why don't you just share it like this and talk about it if it's not working? We got to speed this up.
So nothing creative, just a plain tic-tac-toe where you started. So I'll just increase the big screen. So I've added a multiplayer with an NPC. So it automatically tries to beat me, and once I win, the game resets. So as you can see, I won. The game is resetting. So it is actually, I'm playing with the NPC.
Does the computer win ever? Have you had situations like that?
Tic-tac-toe is easier to win, so I haven't, he hasn't beat me yet.
Try it, and if it doesn't, if you give it an opportunity to win, and if it doesn't take it, that would be the next thing that you could do here.
Yeah, actually it had opportunity to win, but...
it didn't take it. It's a nice NPC. Nice NPC. Thank you. All right, and the last showcase of the day, guys. By the way, just as these guys are setting up, let me just say, you know, as I've been walking around the room, I've seen some really creative ones. And in total, I think we've created over 25 different games, 25 different versions and games just here in the last 2 hours. So well done, you guys. Congratulations.
So basically, I would assume that you guys have played shooting gallery games like Virtual Cop and like, you know, those are House of the Dead old games. So we made something similar to that, but using CSS and JavaScript and HTML. So basically what you have to do is like, you see this building, right? So you have these spawn points, which, I mean, oh yeah, forgot to mention, the base game is like Whack-A-Mole. So we just changed everything about Whack-A-Mole and made a shooting gallery game. So practically what you have to do is like, if you see the red one, you have to like click it so you get score. And every time you click green one, you lose score. So it's like criminals and the civilians. So there is a timer as well. So basically whoever gets like the highest score, clicking the red ones, is the winner. That's the concept of the game.
Good job. This is pretty cool. Some complex mechanics there, as we can see. Those mechanics are slightly more complex than some of the ones we've seen. Well done. It might have taken you guys quite a bit of time, right? Getting fine-tuning.
Yeah, it took some trial and error, a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, yeah.
Because most of the time when we like put it back in ChatGPT, the CSS, the building itself breaks all the time. So we have to like redo it every time.
Yeah.
We kept clearing the chat as you said, and like it worked out in the end.
Yeah. Good job. Well done. Well done, you guys. Okay. On that note, one more. I cannot deny your wish to present. Go ahead. Last
okay,
one
we have
for
the
the
last
day.
one?
Last
Okay,
one for
yeah,
the day.
and then we
Sorry.
have- No.
This last one.
Don't be. This is like so cool. But yeah, we have lunch waiting, so we'll wrap this one.
Yep. Oh, I was looking at that one. Okay. Come on. I think I still have 2 minutes left. So he's done some local assets from his local computer. Yeah, go ahead and talk about it, yeah.
So this is also my first game, like using code and all with ChatGPT. I'm a game design student studying in Presidency University. He's my professor, Adityan sir. So he helped me with making the game. So basically, the character moves, and then he jumps only when he's in the ground. You collect the coin, and then you can, like, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And then
So new coins don't spawn?
Yeah, they don't spawn.
Okay.
That we have to work on it.
That's next.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well done. Wow, wow. Thank you so much. I'm a huge fan of reflection. We don't have the time for it, but I hope that you will, you know, as you're walking out of this, you take some time to process some of this and draw some insights from your experience of what kind of learning you've made from this, and hopefully do better each and every time. And on that note, guys, thank you very much.